Good morning, children. Moving ahead with chapter number 5, today we are going to study some more points. So, what we are going to study today? Royal Seal, that is Rajmudra, towards the establishment of Swaraj, defeat of Afzal Khan, the capture of Jawali. Beginning with Royal Seal, that is Rajmudra. Now, the purpose of Shivaji Maharaj of establishing Swaraj is clearly explained in this royal seal. That is, the language written or the wordings that are mentioned in this royal seal tells us about the purpose of establishing Swaraj. The following Sanskrit lines are inscribed on this royal seal, Rajmudra. It tells us the meaning of royal seal, that this seal is going to grow in heights like a new moon. And this seal of Shivaji Maharaj, the son of Shahaji Raje, receiving a respect from the world, and it denotes that how they are working for the welfare of the people, providing them self-independency. The meaning of the inscribed lines on the royal seal describes its meaning in different angles. Through this inscription, Shivaji Maharaj has expressed his gratitude, his care toward his father, and his confidence of establishing Swaraj. That was a dream of Shahaji Raje that was continued by Shivaji Maharaj. With his own experience of respect for that seal, Swaraj would be the dream and it would be fulfilled by all his associates and his followers. His commitment to the welfare of his subjects and the certainty of ruling over his land means once you capture the fort that belongs to Shivaji Maharaj, and definitely the people who are coming under these forts or who are working for Shivaji Maharaj as his followers, associates, and even the people belonging in his kingdom, his responsibility is there to take care of all the subjects that are present in his kingdom. So, this short inscription covers the entire concept of Swaraj. That means self independency. The land belongs to you and it will be yours. You need to fight for that. So, in this short lines, Shivaji Maharaj has explained a vast concept of establishing Swaraj. Moving on to the next part is towards the establishment of Swaraj. The forts that were situated within the Jagir of Shivaji Maharaj were not under his control but were under the control of Adil Shah. That means the land, the Jagir that was allotted to Shivaji Maharaj was not under his control, but were under the control of Adil Shah. And in those days, forts were of special significance. That means if you are having forts, you are the one who can rule, or you are the one who is stronger with full courage and power. That means you would be considered at the highest post. So that is very important, that if the Jagir belongs to you, that should be owned by yourself, not by the others. The firm hold over a fort, it was possible to control the surrounding area. That means if you can rule or if you can capture the forts, it was very possible to capture the surrounding areas and to bring under one's control. So if one had forts, one ruled the land. That means if one is having Jagir, one can look after the forts as well as whatever land, whatever person is getting, that also will be considered as a part of the Jagir. So both forts and land should be under the control of the person who owns Jagir. Therefore, Shivaji Maharaj decided to acquire the forts that were within his own Jagir. He was having Jagirs under his control, but the forts that were coming under these Jagirs were not under his control. So now he decided that he would capture these forts also and make him stronger for moving ahead with the dream of establishing Swaraj. Shivaji Maharaj decided to capture the forts that were under his Jagir, his own Jagir, but were ruled by Adil Shah. So he challenged Adil Shah his power and tried to defeat him and capture the forts that were under the control of Adil Shah. Captured forts like Torna, Murumdev, Kondhana, and Purandra and laid the foundation of Swaraj under these forts. Some forts were not in a good condition, so he decided to repair these forts and maintain them. Among them was one of the Fort Murumdev. So he decided to repair the Fort Murumdev and renamed it as Raigad. Rajgarh was the first capital of the Swaraj. He named the fort as Raigad, but the capital of Swaraj was Rajgarh. The dream of establishing Swaraj was not an easy task. Shivaji Maharaj had to face lots of enemies and they tried to create many of the hurdles and obstacles in Shivaji Maharaj's life and in the dream of establishing Swaraj. So among them were Mores of Javli, the Ghorpades of Mudhol, the Savants of Savantwadi and other Sardars that were present in the Adil Shahi court. They all opposed Shivaji Maharaj for the foundation of Swaraj. Means they were not ready that Shivaji Maharaj should establish any kind of such things that would create or that would make people to understand the importance of self-independence. So this would be a great problem for the ones who want to rule over the country or the states. So it was necessary to bring them and other like-minded Sardars under the control for the purpose of founding the Swaraj, to make them understand that yes, this is a dream and it should be possibly true to see in future. Why? Because everyone have the life to lead in a self-independence way. So one should follow this dream and continue with that. So Shivaji Maharaj tried to make these enemies aware about the importance of founding of Swaraj, but that was not an easy task to do so. Adil Shahi had spread its power in many of the regions, and many of the powerful Sardar were under his control, present in his court. Among them, one of the Sardar was Chandra Rao More of Jawali, and it is present in Satara district. So he was one of the powerful Sardar in Adil Shahi's court. Even he opposed for the foundation of the Swaraj. He was not in the favor of the dream of Shivaji Maharaj. So he completely did not want that Shivaji Maharaj should establish Swaraj. Shivaji Maharaj decided to attack Jawali, and he had attacked Jawali and captured the region in the year 1656 CE Common Era. He established his post there, and after that he also captured Raigad. After capturing Jawali, he attained a huge amount of wealth that he utilized for the prosperity of his region, helping the people in their work, providing them help with different things like farmers require grains, so he would help them. He reduced the land taxes and so on. And this way he tried to help the people, those who were in trouble. After capturing the regions of Jawali and Raigad, then Shivaji Maharaj thought of moving his activities in the Konkan, and he tried to capture many other regions also. He built the Pratapgarh fort in the Jawali Valley. A new fort that was established in Jawali Valley was Pratapgarh Fort. And in this way, because of the conquest of Jawali, Shivaji Maharaj's strength increased in all the aspects, and he all tried to make his efforts strong for the foundation of Swaraj. After conquering many parts in the Konkan region, now Shivaji Maharaj decided to capture the coastal regions also that are present in the Konkan. So, he decided that he would capture the regions of Kalyan and Bhiwandi that were present on the Konkan coast. When he decided to do so, there he came in contact with Siddhi, Portuguese and British powers that were already present on the western coast. Shivaji Maharaj realized that in order to fight with these strong power and these strong forces, he required a strong naval force. So, He concentrated on building a navy, a strong force who would fight against these Western powers, that was Siddhi, Portuguese and Britishers. Shivaji Maharaj started capturing the forts that were under his own Jagir and even the surrounding areas that were under his Jagir. And even he started to capture the regions that were under the Adil Shahi territory, started to capturing these regions and bringing them under his control. He started crushing his enemies and opposing them. Among them was Mores of Javali. The work of founding the Swaraj had gathered the momentum, the strength, the force on the Konkan coast. There itself, the dream started taking place when he started capturing different regions and bringing them under his control. As Shivaji Maharaj started capturing different forts and bringing them under his control, even he started capturing the surrounding areas that were present in the Adil Shahi's territory. This made a tense situation and was a big challenge to the Adil Shahi's power. At that time, Badi Sahiba was looking after the administration of the Adil Shahi's court. So she decided to send Afzal Khan. Afzal Khan was a powerful and experienced Adil Shahi's general. So he was sent to curb Shivaji Maharaj, to make him understand that Adil Shahis are the strongest than any other Maratha Sardars. So Afzal Khan came from Bijapur to Vai, and he was well aware about Vai region. After decided by Adil Shahi's power, Afzal Khan decided to meet Shivaji Maharaj. So a date was fixed for the meeting. It took place on 10th November 1659 at the foot of Pratapgarh near Vai. In this meeting, Afzal Khan did not came alone. He came along with his army members that were surrounding the fort. So at this meeting, Afzal Khan attempted a treachery. He decided, as he was strong and tall enough, he decided that he would greet Shivaji Maharaj and welcome him in such a way that when they meet each other, he would press him in his arms and kill him. But that could not happen. Why? Because Shivaji Maharaj was well intelligent. In retaliation, Shivaji Maharaj gave a written action to that. Shivaji Maharaj killed Afzal Khan and routed the Adil Shahi's army that were along with Afzal Khan. Shivaji Maharaj did not made any kind of discrimination between his army or the enemy's army. For him, both were equal, as both had worked hard to win the battle for their Sardars. But ultimately, one is going to win and one is going to lose in the battle. So, Shivaji Maharaj paid compensation to the soldiers who were wounded in the battle, though it may be his own soldiers or belonging to the enemies. So, he rewarded them with the good compensation who had fought well. Even he would reward them with the Jagirs, land grants. Those soldiers and officers of Afzal Khan's army who fell into the hands of Shivaji Maharaj's army were given a good treatment. Even they were taken care, even they were provided with medicines and proper help. That was from Shivaji Maharaj and even his associates. He never ever thought that they belonged to the enemy's army and they should not be treated equally. For him, everyone was equal and everyone should get equal justice. Thank you children for watching the video. Take care. Bye-bye.